Good evening, my friends. This is VJ Franz K. I'm taking a look at GR2, which is Groovewriter. It's the sequel to an iPad app that we had several years ago, which is a sort of simulation of a groove box. That's the paradigm, which is usually a machine, a hardware machine, drum machine with some other additional capabilities. But Groovewriter 2 is a very ambitious, sort of an expansion of the simple paradigm of a groove box. As you can see, we have a full-featured music studio with an arranger, a clip mode, so you can build complicated songs. Now, I haven't written this because this is still my first composition, but I will show you my journey here before I've read the manual. This is what I could figure out, and actually, it was a lot more difficult than I expected, so I will tell you about that, so you know what you're getting into with Groovewriter 2. So this is a basic example here. See, these are the different voices. Still, it is somewhat similar to the two-row of button drum machines and groove boxes, such as the Electribe 2, which you may be familiar with. I'm very familiar with those machines. Also, the Tempest drum machine also has the two rows, and I think some of the Arturia machines, like well, it's similar. So basically, rows of things, each holding, let's see, I have to go back to my mixer here. Press the mixer, make sure everything is unmuted. So we have these various parts. I see, part number 9. I'm using AUM to mix my voice in here. So this is a kick drum. I'll look at the sound here. And let's see, part 9, it's melodic part, and then the layer oscillator is from this sound font. But the thing is, when you start a brand new piece in when you start a brand new piece in Groovewriter, new pattern, yes. So here it is. I'm going to save as Incredible Fish. It suggests something. VJ FKYT demo take 2, and then we'll say 1. So there it is. I can set the tempo, I can set the various features here of the different, oh, I see, it's locked to my tempo on AUM now. That's fine. I can pick a different scale, many different scales available, and pick the root note. There it is. So when I start with a new project here, unlike with Groovewriter 1, it's completely blank, except for just one oscillator here in terms of the synthesizer. And usually with a groove box you have at least basic things here, but let's see. So we'll look into what is an oscillator in this program. We have different synthesis types we can generate. And if I go to the keys mode after having selected part 1 there, I can raise it up or down an octave. too low. See, I need some extra amplification here. And I have my filter. I see, I like that scale. It is an Asian style scale. And now I can detune this. That's interesting. And this particular oscillator setup reminds us of a Super Nintendo, not a Super Nintendo, a regular Nintendo, NES, with its simple sort of oscillators there. And we get cutoff and resonance as popular in virtual analog. Boost. So that's that. And I can sequence that, but of course, I would probably like some drums, right? So, but if I start, there's not even a kick drum in there to begin with. So what do I need to do here? And you know, one of my suggestions for Grooverider 2 would be to make a bunch of basic templates, because it includes several project files, which are impressive and kind of complicated, but how about just some basic template files for us to start with? So first, I press a drum rack, right? Because of course, I want some drums. So here's a kick drum, right? But there's nothing loaded by default. And you know, I press, let's see, so the drum rack, I can load, import samples from files, but you know, there's nothing included. So like, what are we supposed to start with? So I was, you know, on my first take and recording, I was wondering, what are we even supposed to do to start with? And you could use Pure Acid Drums, which that's another app that I haven't bought yet, but it's like a 303 and 909, I believe, combo, kind of like the Venerable Rebirth. But a workaround here, until we get more presets included, is to use the melodic. And still it doesn't do anything, but I need to press now plus here, and I'm going to add a sound source, and we're going to add a sound font. And sound fonts, they have a history of being used in video game music as well as just PC music for years and years. So there's a lot of sound fonts that you could download, but it does include this one ROM bank. And I can look through all of this stuff. I could look for kicks, I could look for TR 808 and 909. Yeah, let's start with a 909. So there it is. So now on this I could start recording. So that's the most basic the most basic start for the drums, right? Decimator, good for that, you know, IDM and chiptune sound. So then, that's funny, I don't remember that being on my 909. It's a sample of a scratch. I always did like that click sound too, so. Oh, interesting. I was able to record a little roll there. Let's try that again. Okay, it didn't work this time, but it's all right. Figured that out later. Let's see. And since I'm here, let's put in some. So that's in. So now I'll go back here. Wait, let's see. Now I have to go back to trigger to change. Wait, change back to this. Then go back to the keys mode. Okay, so there it is. Not quite good enough. Undo. Not good enough. So I'm using the undo and redo though. Do I want to stick with that take? Oh well. So I want to show you another thing that I can do on a part. Now, I liked the arpeggiator pad that existed on the previous one, and I hope they will actually add that once again, because it reminds me of the arpeggiator pad on my Electribes, which I love to use. But here is, I'm adding an arpeggiator, which goes after the sequence, so then we can change it up to different arpeggiation patterns. And the repeats. And even swing on the arpeggiation. Interesting. And then the speed, of course. I really like to do this, changing the speed of the arpeggiations. It makes it interesting. Change the gate length. That's good. But not too long, or the notes all cover over each other there. I guess that's showing us that we do have polyphony, because all those notes are able to cover over each other. So, and I can change the color. Maybe that sounds orange to me, I guess. Alright. So, let's see, what else can I do? I can add some effects. Oh yeah, so we have these DJ style effects, MFX, Master FX they are called. That can be cool for a live performance, as Grooverider 1 was. And I can engage all three of them or more using the multi-touch on the iPad, which is still probably the best multi-touch that you'll find on a affordable device. Then I can add some, let's see, first over here on Send Effect 1, add some delay. Then of course I have to go to the mixer here. I can see my drums are in part 9. And I could add some delay to the drums if I wanted, which can be interesting, but also add some delay to my bass synth there. Then go back to the FX. And then supposedly I can add some reverb there. And shimmer, that sounds interesting, I want to hear that. Oh yeah, and then also, I can also mess with these in terms of multi-touch. You know, this could be really good to use for a live performance or something like that. Just changing these things around as you play. Go to the mixer. Wow, it sure does add shimmer, doesn't it? There is, wow, that's a really nice reverb. So, obviously not to be used in too much, not to overuse it. Let's see, so in terms of, I could put it on my drums too, even though I probably shouldn't. Oh yeah, and since I accidentally activated this window here, I'm gonna tap back on the top here to make the window withdrawal there, but let's see. Yeah, that's weird. Wow, that's really bizarre. I like that. I'll remember that to use intentionally later on and just apply it to the snares probably, and just like some of my favorite Roland reverbs that have really unusual sounds when you turn them on at high level. So anyway, so we don't get bored with that, you know, I can lower the levels here on this nice mixer, or I can mute. Let's see what else. So, but I was going to show you that first composition that I made. So let's see. Let's just, oh yeah. So here's, since we're looking here, I'm going to press this jump. And on Electribe, this is called step jump. And it also, I forget what it's called on TR drum machines. But one of my favorite live performance features is to be able to jump around, but then have it automatically snap back to the beat. Now some of the earlier devices like Electribes did not snap back to the beat, and that was very troublesome when you're playing them. But it's a great way to add variations to your playing. And even Groove Rider 1 does not have that snapback feature, so please add it to Groove Rider 1, because the thing is, you know, I might still want to do simple compositions in Groove Rider 1, even though GR2 is obviously much more complicated and capable of different sonic adventures. Maybe have another voice type, which is Groove Rider 1 type voice, and just let us bring that straight in. And in fact, it occurred to me that maybe instead of calling this Groove Rider 2, they should call this Groove Rider Pro, or even Groove Rider Studio, or something, just to differentiate it from its earlier, simpler predecessor. Okay, so I'm going to flip back now to first beat 1, which I recorded on the previous take when I didn't have my microphone turned up enough on AUM, but I'm going to load here. And I could start to instantly load, but I'm going to mix AB by pressing this button, because I want to show you this nice feature. So here's the crossfader, like you would see on many DJ mixers, right? So then I slowly fade it across. Wait, I hit start. And then I can slowly fade it across. And it's playing both patterns, and then it's fading one in. Now that's very nice, and a lot of hardware groove boxes cannot do this, because they don't have enough processor power, something. But since the iPad has a lot of processor power, I see how they can do this. So there I'm fading across, and actually it even fades the tempo between these two things, except these have identical tempos, so it didn't do that. But and now, when the fade is completed, we have loaded the new file, or the old file in this case. So I go back to the mixer. I'll show you, this is not going to win a EDM Grammy Award, but I was just messing around, seeing what I could figure out, like I said, without using the manual. So here I've separated so I have my snares there on another one of those sound fonts, as I showed you before. And I can add can do the pan, of course, pan left to right, add interest to the mix, even though a lot of techno music is very focused on the center of the stereo field, but let's see. So I had a few different voices here. Ended up with this video game-y sound, and then you notice my volume meter is in motion there. Can I record it? And then just remember, when your record is enabled, it's going to be recording everything you do. So just be wary of that. Be judicious about when you apply your record button. And that is why it is necessary to have a dedicated record button, because you need to be able to go back and forth and add more stuff to your thing. So let's see. So now I'll go to the sound of, let's see, part 1. So, oh yeah, and I can show a visuals. I can show stereo image, oscillogram, partimeters, a spectrum. That's nice. So I guess I can choose 2 to 3 of these, but maybe not all 4. But that's interesting. We all like fascinating visuals, and also informative, of course. So once again, adding my features, I can use my LFO to do various things here. Edit, and see, have it modulate that filter, for example, and it even shows it. How nice. And then let's see, change the speed, lower that down a bit, change the, and you could use this envelope generation to synthesize drums, I think. Of course you could. The question is, how good will they sound? But you could. I mean, we're even getting towards that right now. Vert. Or that weird wah-wah. So anyway, sort of a strange video gamey sound. Use the equalizer. Oh, interesting. Did I record the motion of that low synthesizer into there? But I see. Nice edit. And as I was saying on the previous take, now could call it an emulation of a very complicated groove box, like perhaps MPC 1 or Kai Force or something. It's like, if you can call those groove boxes anymore, because they're so complicated. It's like a studio in a box. But you could get that complicated, hypothetically, with this. I don't know if you can record audio tracks right into it. I'll have to find that out later. You can see that the iPad is getting kind of hot because of all of this processor usage here, and I'm screen recording right into my mini microphone. But so you go to the mixer, see, mute that. I wonder if it bothers to render out the sound channels for the muted stuff. I guess it does, because it's bouncing like that. So that's that overloaded kick there. Little tapping noises. Another sound. Let's see. So I can also just flip through the parts by pressing the part button. Also similar to the elect drive in that way. Wait, actually it's part 3. Go up an octave. Another Nintendo type sound, you know? Oh, I see, and I'm using LFO to modulate that. Interesting. I'm having a better time on my second take here, getting through it. Just because, like I said, I was initially shocked that I couldn't do all of those things that I was used to on GR. But anyway, what else am I going to do? I can see this iPad is overheating from running too many sound voices or something. And then doing the screen record, of course. Let's see. What else do I want to share? Well, that's a basic introduction to GR2. And like I said, it's impressive. All of this different features that are included are possibility. It's like when you open a new app like this, you're like, wow, potential. We'll be able to figure out how to use it. So in the clips, I could switch to another one here. Switch to another one, and then I could keep doing different clips here. Just beep, new clip, switch to it, and then I see the resolution is pretty chunky there. Maybe I can change probably the resolution of the note recording there, but you can see how we could build up an entire song using all of these independent things, and that's a cool rotating thing. Then by pressing this on the side, much like Ableton, you can have an entire row of things happening, so that's cool. So for a minute, turn that off by just playing a blank row there, and then let's see, stop the recording. Then we save as. I'm going to change it to first beat 3 and save it. So there that is. And suppose I am playing my first beat. So then I could go back to this. I could load it and then fade my mixer. And I'm back to my original. So that is very powerful of a possibility. Anyway, so I'm going to give this a good review, but I'm just going to say be careful, know what you're getting into. It isn't as easy and approachable as GR1 was at the beginning, even though maybe, like I said, they could add some extra basic templates or something to make it more immediate to start with. Anyway, 34 is low for a computer, a PC sound program, but it is somewhat expensive for a iPad music program. So just know that you know, it's a serious thing. Similar price to something like hardcore gadget. And anyway, I'm going to look into this more. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on this whole thing. And thank you for watching always. VJ Franz K, Creative Tech.